Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Do you ever wake up feeling nothing? Not sad, not crying, not in pain, just empty. Like someone turned the volume of your soul all the way down. Do you ever look at your own life, your job, your friends, your dreams, and feel like you're watching a stranger's story? If you do, this isn't about depression in general. This is about the worst type of depression. The one almost nobody talks about, and the one that hides behind a perfectly normal face. Today, I want to talk to you, not as a narrator, not as a psychologist, but as someone who sees you. Because the worst type of depression is the one you don't even recognize in yourself. The one people miss. The one you can hide behind a smile. And if some part of you whispers, "This might be me," stay with me to the end. The worst kind of depression isn't what you see in the movies. It isn't the one that keeps you locked in a dark room, unable to get out of bed. It's the one that gets up with you every morning. The one that lets you go to work, answer the emails, smile at the cashier, all while your internal world is quietly collapsing. Psychologists have a clinical name for it: persistent depressive disorder, or dysthymia. But a more telling name is high-functioning depression. It's not a sudden crash, it's a slow, silent erosion of joy that can take years. And that's what makes it so uniquely cruel. You don't look depressed, so no one asks if you're okay. You tell yourself it's not that bad. Others have it worse. You function, you tick the boxes, you get through the day, but you don't live. Because it lasts so much longer than a major depressive episode, you slowly, imperceptibly forget what normal happiness even feels like. It doesn't break you suddenly with a loud crack. It just wears you down, grain by grain, until you're a shadow of yourself. So let's talk about the symptoms. Not the ones on a checklist, but the ones you actually feel, the ones people don't see. First, there's the emotional numbness. You don't cry, you don't have panic attacks, you don't scream into a pillow. You just don't feel much of anything. Good news doesn't lift you, bad news doesn't crush you. You start to believe this flat line is just your personality now. Then there's the joylessness. It's a specific kind of emptiness. That song you used to love, now it's just noise. A conversation with a friend feels heavy, like a chore. The weekend arrives, and instead of relief, you just feel pointless. Third, the fatigue. And it's not just being tired. It's a bone-deep exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. You wake up already feeling drained, carrying a weight no one else can see. Then comes the detachment. You feel like you're watching your own life from behind glass. You say the right things, make the right moves, but it's like you're playing a character in a movie, not actually living your own life. To cope, you might wear the productivity mask. You stay busy, you keep achieving, because it's so much easier than stopping and trying to explain the emptiness inside. Slowing down feels dangerous, because the silence is deafening. And finally, the heaviest part. You think it's your fault. You look around and believe everyone else is handling life better. You blame yourself for not being stronger, not being happier, not being enough. You think you're broken, when in reality, you're just emotionally burnt out. But here's the truth you need to hear. You are not broken. You are not a failure. You are a person carrying an invisible weight. And acknowledging that weight, just admitting to yourself that the silence is real, is the first, most courageous step toward finding your voice again. Let's talk about the depression that doesn't always look like depression, the kind that lives behind a perfectly capable exterior. We'll start with the hidden types. First, there's high-functioning depression, also known as dysthymia. This is the one that lasts for years. It's not a sudden crash, it's a low-grade hum of emptiness that becomes your baseline. It's slow, it's silent, and its longevity is what makes it so incredibly dangerous. Next, smiling depression. This is the one you perform. You laugh in public. You're the reliable friend, the competent colleague. You excel at seeming okay. And then you collapse emotionally the second the door closes and you're finally alone. The mask comes off and the weight of it all hits you. Then there's atypical depression. With this, you can feel better when something good happens. A compliment, good news, a fun evening out. There's a temporary lift, but you crash so much deeper afterwards. Your mood reacts, but the recovery never ever lasts. That brief high just makes the baseline feel that much lower. Fourth is existential depression. Here, you're not necessarily sad in the traditional sense, you're searching. It's the constant, quiet hum of big questions. What's the point? What am I really doing here? Why am I here at all? This is the depression of the deep thinkers, the over-analyzers, the ones who feel the weight of existence. And finally, burnout-induced depression. This one isn't purely emotional, it's neurological. Your nervous system is physically, tangibly stuck in survival mode from chronic stress. It's a full system shutdown. You don't need another motivational quote. You need deep cellular restoration. So, which of these is the most dangerous? It's the one you've learned to live with, the one you no longer see as a problem, because you can live with it for years. You slowly stop noticing the signs because they've become your normal. You normalize the exhaustion. You normalize the ache. You convince yourself with 1,000 little excuses. I'm just tired. This is just what being an adult feels like. Everyone feels like this, right? I should be grateful. Nothing is actually wrong with my life. But here's the truth of it. Depression doesn't need to destroy your life in obvious ways to be real. It doesn't have to set your world on fire. Sometimes the quiet ones, the ones that smolder just beneath the surface, hurt the most. And if you're hearing this right now, there is something you absolutely need to hear. You're not being dramatic. You're not weak. And you are not broken. You are worn down. You've been carrying a heavy load for a very long time, likely without any help. And if no one has ever told you this, please let me be the first. You do not have to hit rock bottom to deserve help. You don't have to wait for a full-blown crisis. Even if you're still functioning, even if you're still showing up for work, even if you are still somehow smiling, you deserve support. You deserve rest. You deserve to feel joy again. If this felt a little too close, if something inside you whispered, "This is me," please know this. You're not invisible. You're not alone. And you are not meant to live life in grayscale. This channel, Innerbloom, exists for people exactly like you. People who feel deeply, think deeply, and carry so much more than they ever admit. If you want more videos like this, you know where to find me. For now, just take a breath, maybe drink some water. And remember, your story isn't over. It's just quiet right now.